Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dave's Top 3,000 Songs of the Rock Era. Today I'm up to song number 2158, and that one is Nashville Cats by the Lovin Spoonful. When it came out, it was peaked on the charts in 1967. Here's a picture of the single. It was also released on their 1966 album called Hums of the Lovin Spoonful. And here's a picture of the Lovin Spoonful around the time they recorded it. I think you guys are probably all familiar with them. They were a very big folk rock group in the mid to late 60s, had a lot of big hits. This song, Nashville Cats, was the last of 7 top 10 hits by them. Went to number 8. Um, yeah, and before I continue, I decided to feature this one at karaoke, so please stick around for that. It's a very difficult song to sing, but I practiced it several times, and I think I can get it without screwing up. At least I hope I can. Anyway, so I guess I'll just start by talking about this song, Nashville Cats. I think the title's pretty self-descriptive. It's about, I guess young kids growing up in Nashville and musicians in particular. I guess, according to the song, they're singing about the guitar pickers. They say there's 1,352 guitar pickers or guitar cases in Nashville, and there's 16,821 mothers in Nashville. And I don't know. I mean, I'm a mathematician, so I like figures, and I might as well say something about that. Actually, I did a little bit of research. I was kind of curious, and I already knew this was way too low a figure for the number of mothers in Nashville. I knew this the first time I heard this song because I already knew that Nashville was one of the 50 biggest cities in the United States and has been for a long time. Um, I was kind of surprised to learn this. I looked up the U.S. Census population of Nashville in 1960 and 1970. Actually, had a huge jump from 1960 to 1970. It was only 170,874 in 1960, went all the way up to 448,003 by 1970. I think what probably happened was they probably enlarged the city limits because it looks like it jumped from 1960 to 1961. It doubled just in 1 year. And I can't imagine that was just from people moving there. So they had to enlarge the city limits. I think that's what happened. But, the song was recorded in 1966, and by then, it looks like the population was around 400,000. And, I also looked up what percentage of women in the United States are mothers, and it's about 57%. And I think that's pretty constant throughout the country. And of course, about 50% of all Americans are women, actually a little bit more than that, I think. But just to be, kind of, you know, not too precise, we take 30%, 57% and 50%, that's about 28.5%, and we can round that to 30%. 30% of 400,000 is 120,000. That's quite a bit more than John Sebastian claimed. 16,821. I mean, I can forgive him for that. I don't think he was trying to be precise. But I did read that when he wrote the song, he was trying to sound kind of like a New York expert on statistics. So that's why he came up with these numbers, I guess. Anyway, enough of that. Guess it shows you what a nerd I am being interested in these numerical figures. But anyway, now I guess without further ado, I will perform the song Nashville Cats to karaoke. So anyway, sit back and enjoy. Here it goes. Might as well switch to the Gemini generated image, which I kind of like. Here it goes. Nashville Cats play clean as country water. Nashville Cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville Cats been playing since they babies. Nashville Cats Good work before there too. Well, there's 1,352 guitar pickers in Nashville, and any bit more notes than the number of ants on a Tennessee anthill. Yeah, there's 1,352 guitar cases in Nashville, and any one of them Texas guitars could play twice as better than I will. Yeah, I was just 13, you might say I was a musical proverbial knee-high. When I heard a couple new sounding tunes on the tubes and they blasted me sky high. And the record man said every one is a Yellow Sun record from Nashville. And up north here ain't nobody buys them, and I said, but I will. And it was Nashville Cats. Play clean as country water, Nashville Cats. Play wild as Mountain Dew, Nashville Cats. Been playing since they babies, Nashville Cats. Get work before there too. Well, there's 16,821 mothers from Nashville. And all friends play music and they ain't uptight if one of the kids will. Cause it's custom made for any mother's son to be a guitar picker in Nashville. And I sure am glad I got a chance to say a word about the music and the mothers from Nashville. Nashville Cats. Play clean as country water, Nashville Cats. Play wild as Mountain Dew, Nashville Cats. Been playing since they's babies, Nashville Cats. Good work before they're too. Pick it. Okay, that went pretty well, I think. That was my karaoke performance of Nashville Cats in the style of the Lovin Spoonful. So anyway, that completes my video feature on the song Nashville Cats. So thank you for watching. You guys rock, and I'll see you next time.